Morning, students. Our today's topic is planning and organizing the housekeeping operations. Housekeeping is a 24/7 operation. It is imperative that the executive housekeeper plans and organizes the work of the department for smooth and efficient functioning. Planning is the executive housekeeper's most important management function, providing direction and focus to all activities. When this planning is done methodically, half of the battle is won. If the executive housekeeper plans out the work well, he or she and the staff are clear about the responsibilities of the department as well as their individual tasks. Planning the work of the housekeeping department requires a step-by-step systematic approach to ensure that the work is not only done but also done correctly, efficiently, on time, and with the least cost to the department. The step-by-step planning process may differ slightly from one hotel's housekeeping department to another hotel's, and different terminology may be in use across companies, but essentially the sub-process and the task are the same. Housekeeping planning should be done on paper and needs to be properly documented. The questions that arise at the beginning of the planning process lead to the information of the basic planning documents that the executive housekeeper must follow. The planning process. These documents are as follows: division of work document, area inventory list, frequency schedules, performance standards, productivity standards, equipment and operating supply inventory level, work schedules. Division of work document. In the first step of planning, the executive housekeeper identifies the areas that will come under the purview of housekeeping department for maintenance and upkeep. This is especially important in a newly opened property. Most housekeeping departments in luxury hotels are involved with cleaning guest rooms and the related public areas. The other back of the house areas are taken care of by the stewarding assistants. However, in middle class properties, the housekeeping department may also be responsible for such areas as dining and banquet rooms, meeting rooms, recreation rooms, employee areas, and management offices. It also helps to mark the areas as a blueprint of the property plan. The executive housekeeper should make a list of all the guest and employee areas of the property in a division of work document and put down on paper who would be responsible for cleaning and maintaining each area. To ensure all possible areas to be cleaned have been covered, the executive housekeeper must make regular tours of the property. The division of work document should be presented to the executive committee for review and approval. Area inventory list. Once the division of work document is finalized, the executive housekeeper needs to concentrate on the areas that are her department's responsibility. The next important planning task is to prepare a list of all items and surfaces within a particular area that require the attention of housekeeping personnel. The more detailed the list, the more efficient the cleaning and maintenance of the area will be in our probability. Area inventory list also, during supervision, separate area inventory lists need to be made for all areas that the department is responsible for. Frequency schedules. Frequency schedules show how often the items listed on an area inventory list are to be cleaned or maintained. The frequency of cleaning is directly related to the type and amount of soiling expected in the area or on the item to be cleaned. Frequency schedules divide the cleaning and maintenance tasks into daily, weekly, monthly, or periodic tasks. Many tasks in the public areas are scheduled for the night. The higher the standards of excellence and hygiene sought, the more frequent the cleaning needed. Deep cleaning and special projects should be scheduled for periods of low occupancy, and many such tasks take place during the night shift. Performance standards. Performance standards describe how and to what standards the work is to be done. In other words, performance standards lay down the required quality levels for employees' performance. The best developed performance standards are the ones that are prepared in consultation with the staff who actually perform the task. Productivity standards communicate the quantity of work expected to be completed by each employee of the department. Housekeeping managers must know how long it should take an employee perform the main task in the area inventory list, as this knowledge helps in determining staff requirements. The efficient housekeeping is achieving a balance between performance standards and productivity standards. Standard time rates have been calculated for specific tasks under standard conditions of equipment, agents, and method. Practically speaking, though every hotel must develop their own productivity standards, as there are several factors that influence these standards, which vary from one property to the other. Work schedules. Once the executive housekeeper is through with planning the work and resources, the employees can start on their work schedules. The work schedule is a document that lists the actual tasks to be carried out by an employee in a particular shift and the time frame in which to undertake each task. The number of schedule made for a given area is thus an indication of the number of staff required to clean that area on the particular day. The guest room cleaning, the executive housekeeper should schedule GRAs by giving each of them room section of 15 to 20 rooms reasonably continuous to each other. In case of team staffing, 30 to 35 guest rooms continuous to each other can be assigned. The work schedule should be handed over to the employees at the start of their shift. The executive housekeeper is responsible for two types of inventories. First, recycled inventories. Items which are recycled during the course of hotel operations. Example, linen, some guest supplies, irons, iron boards, cribs, etc. Room attendant cards, vacuum cleaners, carpet shampoos, floor buffers, etc. Non-recycled inventories, items that are used up repeatedly during the course of routine housekeeping operations. Example, guest amenities, cleaning supplies, and other smaller pieces of equipment such as brooms, mops, cleaning cloths, and so on. The executive housekeeper must establish reasonable levels for both recycled and non-recycled inventories. Overstocking should be avoided as it ties up cash and calls for a large storage area. There should be an effective purchasing system to consistently maintain the inventory levels set by the executive housekeeper. To maintain the inventory levels, the executive housekeeper needs to determine the par level of each inventory item. Par number. Par refers to the standard number of items that must be on hand to support daily routine housekeeping operations. Par levels are determined differently for the two types of inventories. Inventory levels for recycled items are measured in terms of a par number. Example, one part of linen is the total number of items needed to outfit all the hotel guest rooms once. Two parts is its total number of items needed to outfit all the hotel guest rooms twice, and so on. In case of non-recycled inventories, the par number is the range between two figures, a minimum inventory quantity and a maximum inventory quantity. Minimum quantity is the fewest number of purchased units that should be in stock at any given time. The inventory should never fall below the minimum quantity. Maximum quantity is the largest number of purchased units that should be in stock at any time. It must be consistent with available storage space and must not be high that large amounts of cash are tied up.